So hello friends, I am Neeraj Avinash and continuing our Docker session. So today we are going to see something really important and that is Docker Compose, and the Docker Compose actually makes our life much easier, and it helps in automation of the all our services, all our application services which we are going to use. So till so far in the previous few sessions, so we have already seen and we have got that very fair idea about the how we can Dockerize an application and what is Docker file, and how we can write instructions over there, right? So that thing we already know, and today so we will completely focus on Docker Compose, so what it is, and we will definitely see some background and about the Docker Compose, and what is its why it enhances our productivity and deployment process. So we will cover all of them. So without wasting much time, so let's dive into it. And by the way, if you go to this, actually please keep in mind that docs.docker.com, that is your knowledge base, and that is where you will while working with Docker. So definitely we will need this, right? So Docker Compose is like, for example, say you are building an application, and that application, for example, say a web application. So bare minimum web application might involve, like, you might need your definitely your application code, and your application code might need your Python, or it may be running on Node.js and so on, or whatever technology. You might need a web server like Nginx or Apache, and we might also need some kind of database like MySQL, Postgres, or Redis, and we also might need some other services. So all of these services, by creating with plain Docker file like we have learned so far, we will need to write each and every Docker file, and we need to manually control the process, like manually start the process, and there might be dependency. For example, say you might your application might depend upon some other services, so there is no way actually to control how we can do that. So what if, like, we write all the instructions and at one single place, and when we deploy our application, it takes care of each and every deployment process behind the scene, right? So that way it would be a very good thing, and it would be you can say, like, that would be a completely automated process. So this is what Docker Compose comes in help for us. So that helps us to make the automation process much more easier, right? So without wasting that time, so enough information about it, so enough background we already having it. So let's dive into our terminal and see something handy, right? So here I am already open my terminal, and by the way, like, Docker desktop, I already opened that. So here we are having only one single image which we developed in our previous session. So we will create a, say, right now I am in my home directory, so we will go to the place where we are keeping our code. So here I will create a folder mkdir, and let's say Docker, and again mkdir, and let's say Compose, right? And I'll open it in my Visual Studio Code. So my code has already opened, so it is initializing. So here it is, the Docker, here it is Compose, right? So here I will create first file, and that is your Docker compose, and the extension is YML. So it is the file which is having all the instruction sets, and it is helping us it will help us to automate the process. So first thing in the Docker compose file is that it starts with the version. So there are actually lots of versions if you go to the documentation. So here there are lots of versions available. Let me find it. Composer, try compose, or we can using compose in production. So actually you can dive you can land on this page, and it will help you a lot in doing other things, right? So, and by the way, like Docker Compose is already installed. It comes pre-installed with Docker, so no worries with that. So version, there are lots of versions, so definitely we will, right now the current version is 3, so we can be more specific, and we'll go with version 3.9. and here think of it like Docker Compose is like you can instruct this file, right, when we are going to build it, whatever services we require. So we will start with services, and services. So inside services, so we are going to use maybe Nginx. So name it Nginx, and we might also need Apache. So we can name it other services, like we actually in this session we are only going to see what it can do and how it is done, and in the following session, so definitely we will see it in live, and when we deploy build our application from scratch, a Django application using MySQL database, so we will continue over there. So this session we are just going to learn the concept. So we are going to have 3 services. One is Nginx, and second one is Apache. So in Nginx, so like you might recall that in Docker file, so we need to provide one base image, right? So here also we have to provide the image from which we are going to build this container. So image name is we can go with, you can also go here on Docker Hub, and just Google in Docker Hub, and it will, and you can land here actually, and go to explore, and here there are lots of things, so which are already having official images. So for example, say we are going to use Nginx, so we can also be more specific. So like right now the version is 1.23, and we are going to use the Alpine one. So with the Nginx we can say Nginx version 1.23.3, and it's a Alpine one. So this is the image which when we are going to build our Nginx service, so we are going to use this image. And second one, similarly, let's say I need Apache as well. So you can find Apache over here, or yes, here it is. So this is HTTPD, and by the way, you will get each and everything over here, so there is nothing to worry about, right? So here I can copy HTTPD, and I can write it image, and here HTTPD version 2.4 2.4.56 Alpine, 2.4.56, and I am going to use a Alpine image, right? So that's it. And so let's dive into our terminal and let us see it. So cd docker here it is. I have made the folder on the root itself. So cd compose. So right now I can see only docker compose file is there. That's a YAML file, and I can raise a docker compose, and like we with the plain docker, with the docker file, we have seen that we have to build the image. So here also we can use it, docker compose and build. And wait a second, and actually there is one more thing. Before building it, we can also cross check if our docker compose.yaml file is correct or not. So that we can check it by using this command, docker compose and config. And if you are seeing the file content, that means there is no error in your compose file, and then we can go with the build option, right? So it will build our image, and docker compose, and we can fire up. So up is actually useful. We use this command, docker compose up, to and by the way, this up can automatically build the image for ourselves itself automatically while creating the containers and other things. So we can fire this command, docker compose up. So it is pulling your Apache and Nginx, because that is not why this is why this is there is okay, maybe some typo here. Okay, my apology for that. Alpine. Now rerun it. So it is pulling Apache and Nginx. So it is actually pulling from Docker Hub itself, from the remote repository, and you can see this is still happening. So let us wait. It might take some time, so let us wait for it. And if we go to Docker desktop, we can see that we are having two images, HTTPD and Nginx. And if you go to container, so here compose is here, and inside compose you can see your Apache is also installed, Apache's container is also running, and your Nginx is also running. So you can see like how easy it is to use automate the process. Like we don't need to do it manually, like install in one container manually make Apache run and Nginx run. Like we automated this process simultaneously by using docker compose, right? And similarly, like since your docker compose is running, if it is up, so we can, and if we need to make it down, so we can type in docker compose and down, and definitely it will destroy all the container services that is running that were defined inside our docker compose file, right? So I hope that makes sense, and this is really awesome and really beautiful. So in following sessions, so we are going to see that in how we can use it in a real-time deployment process, and how it is going to help us in a more efficient way. Right? So till then, so if you have any questions, so definitely yes, so you can just type in and ping me, and I'll there to help you out. Okay guys, take care, bye bye.